And here we are, historic Strobel Arena inside Thunder Bowl, Allen Park, Michigan, the scene for the PBA Playoffs. And tonight you'll see the opening of round number 1 with the number 9 seed Anthony Simonson taking on the A seed 20-year-old Ethan Fiori. Then Kyle Troop, two-time champion of this event, takes on the always steady Tim Foy Jr. And later on, Jacob Butturff, Jesper Svensson, Ryan Barnes, Chris Fye to make. Get a little late tapper on the 10. Get things started. And Fiori just a little bit high through the nose. He'll have a simple spare to shoot at.
Dave, when was the last time you saw a major champion use a three-step approach?
Not very many, unless they're forced to by where the ball return is. And isn't it unusual for a two-hander to take so few steps also?
Well, and again, you made a great point. When they're standing in front of the ball return, you see that. And he just took 5 steps there on a spare shot.
He's going to end it with a major championship and a berth in the playoffs. And no messenger there.
And with all of that you mentioned, a full-time exemption as well.
Yep. Simonson off to a perfect start.
Using 2 different bowling balls for the 2 different patterns. He's using IQ Tour 78 on the left lane. And I think Tank Rampage Pearl on the left.
Got a perfect shot there. Wow, sweet power from Ethan. Yeah, so he adjusted nicely. And is countering with a double against Simonson, who's...
And that no ball return really helps on that right lane if the players have to get in real deep. Nothing in the way.
Mixer, yes, sir. 4 for 4 for Anthony Simonson, the first player to win 5 majors before 30 when he won the 2023 USBC Masters.
Oh, boy.
He cleared out a lot of garbage there, so he just has the 1 to shoot at.
That's a really good 9, by the way. %97 of the time, the 2 pins covered. And how do we know that? Well, because of our good friends at Lane Talk.
Well, you could hear him say roll, and it just came up a hair short.
What'd you make of his comment to Kimberly in the interview?
About not practicing?
About not preparing.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was honest. I mean, he could have come up with something phony just for a soundbite, so I give him credit for being honest. Showed a little sense of humor, too.
How did you prepare for this? I didn't really.
Well, when he's hardly had the time. It did. So's that.
Yeah, ether that's in that new skin. You get those cuts on your fingers, and then you got to put that ether in there. It burns like hell, and then you put a patch on top of that.
And Trip Trouble out of the way. Still has a single pin to shoot at. That's why I called him dangerous at the beginning of the show. It's just like you can't count him out. He's getting better. And makes that look good. That's got to hurry, and it doesn't.
We got it out to that same spot where it came up light, leaving the flat 10. This time a little more ball speed, and it pushes even longer. He's got all the tools, though, and he's only 20. It's a little scary.
Yeah, you wonder what you look at him. I mean, what would you tell him? Do you tell him anything? Well, you know, Ethan, if you just did this, you'd even be better. I mean, is there something there?
Yeah, keep bowling. Bowl as much stuff as you can. Yeah. Right now for him, it's all about experience.
Come on, I can't believe that. Well, he's not an emotional player either. If you watch him, he just stays within himself, stays calm. Boy, that held like a champ. You'll get a good look at that shorter pattern.
Better, maybe.
Oh my, yes! Little back tripper on the 2. Say better, it's better, and he almost didn't get the strike. That, if Messenger is going the wrong county.
And that was a ball change. Figuring he's out of this game 1 and looking at something different on the right lane.
And that was a tester.
It was. So it was a ball change and he moved in.
They just misjudged it.
There you go.
His mind is made up on that lane.
Yeah, that's the bowling equivalent of pulling the goalie. You know, you're probably not going to win here. Let's just see if we can get another goal. If we don't, that's okay. Who cares if we win 6-2 or 4-2? At this point, I just need to get things ready for the next game. In this case, for Ethan, he now knows he's going to be down 1 and eliminated if he loses the second game.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's about 4 boards right of where he wanted it.
Wrong ball, just a bad shot. What was that?
Bad shot.
Yeah.
I don't have an angle. I have the second one in the 9th flick.
Simonson looking at another ball as well. Right time to do it. Keeping the options open.
So Anthony's up 1-0. He can lock out Ethan with a victory in the second game. If Ethan gets the dub, then we'll go to a 2-frame roll-off.
Locked in, man.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I think the Stash is eventually going to get its own social media account. It might as well.
It already has one.
Oh, it does?
Don't kid yourself.
I should know better. All right, let's see if this strategy pays off and if Ethan can execute. The answer so far, yes.
I think the picture's a little clearer for him on the left lane, the shorter of the 2 patterns. Now, what does Simo go with after? And that's 10 in the pit.
Yeah, you said it. He's dialed in right now.
And he still is.
Yeah.
We figured out how to slow him down. Just get his back to hurt.
Got to go. He does. Oh, boy.
And he made a ball change there as well. Went to an
And a little loft as we expected. And a big problem. The first split of the evening. And he went overhand on that, just flipped the 8.
At least he has an idea of what his ball's going to do on that left lane.
It'll be interesting to see if he tries the same approach on the right lane when he gets back there.
Down the right lane.
Oh, wow. I didn't foresee a bucket.
Won the inaugural Pete Weber Missouri Classic.
that seems appropriate. Bowling Genius wins Bowling Genius tournament.
Lock
Tony,
and
can I have a
load.
re-rack, please?
A little bit high,
okay.
and a lot of traffic around that pin, but not enough to knock it down. It did. And Fiori's not out of this yet. But he has to have this point or he will be eliminated.
Go.
We almost got another bucket.
Really?
258 double weight.
9th on the points list. Fiori was 8th.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Just singing in the rain right now. It's just, yeah.
Putting on a clinic. What a great matchup.
Oh boy. How do you win 5 majors? How do you win 16 titles? How do you win when you're 19? How do you win when you're in your mid-20s? This is how you do it.
Still behind it.
Hang on. Woo-wee. That's
Be a great night. And thanks for that, Dave. Stayed in the urethane too long, my friend. Light.
Super tight all of a sudden.
Yeah, bucket without the 4. Now it's the bucket without the 8.
puts that right in the pocket. 83% conversion for the PBA Tour.
Almost found.
It's an exhibition, really, of his skills right now.
See, I think he's missed once on the right lane, and that was his fill shot, game 1.
Yeah, this has been a wonderful performance by Simon. That's, at this point, that doesn't mean much or anything.
No, you're not going to get it back from that spot, though.
No. Nice. Shop.
I do.
Speaking of sweet swings.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
And Leno Monticelli, of course, we're talking about,
slower.
Hall of Famer. It's still competitive on the PBA 50 Tour.
That lady's already sang her song, and he is moving on.
So Fiori will finish up his 10th. Has been extremely consistent. If you haven't seen Tim Foy Jr. on a TV show this year, you just stopped watching bowling for some reason. Yeah. Well, he's a confidence and momentum bowler, so that leads us to believe, Andrew, that a fast start's important here for Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And he got a really good look at what Simon was doing, so I expect him to do something similar. Same ball on the left lane.
Probably deserved a better fate than a ringing 10.
After not making a show all year, I would love to know if he was a little nervous there to start.
And that is the same result Kyle Troop just had.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what a season for Tim Foy Jr. And again, getting back to the confidence thing that we talked about with Andrew when we were at the table. It's amazing what it does to athletes in sports. And he's another guy that has a newfound confidence based on the success he's had this season.
Yeah, it's going to be when it rains, it pours for him. When he gets one of these titles, I think he's going to run some down because he is just giving it a chance every week.
Yeah, it's
Third at the World Championship in Reno for his first major television appearance. Look out, mama.
GB5 on the right lane, so 2 different balls for the 2 different patterns for Tim Foy.
Out of the bowlers so far.
All right, but when he went to reactive, how much did it change?
I mean, that was a big angle change. He went from, very straight with the urethane to 18 to 4 with the reactive. I think that's just Simo's touch showing up.
Another ringing 10. Unreal.
Diaz, he's been reading books. He's, listens to a ton of music. He gets really, really deep into practice compared to some of the rest of us. And so he takes it very serious.
He's a real focused guy. So when he gets to that level, that mental level, right? It's like there's nobody else in that space. It's just him.
And the time he puts into that, into conditioning as well.
He is a very hard worker. He's been in the gym more than almost anybody out here. He's been working hard at his game. Sometimes, Randy, we have off years. He hasn't had that bad of a year. He just has.
Whoa.
How about another 10-pin?
It's over here.
All right, for me, I would give it a couple more shots. If I leave another ring in 10, I'm out of that ball. Andrew, what about you?
Well, that's one way to defeat a ringing 10 problem, but now he's got a much more
roll.
More forward roll, less down lane reaction or change of direction. So that ball's going to tumble a little bit more forward, more end over end roll, more side roll. You're going to see a bigger change of direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Mike Wolf repping with Tim Foy Jr. Aha! There's the double that Andrew talked about.
And Kyle knows that was a big shot. Knows Foy doesn't have the best ball reaction. Get on him early.
Yeah. Get the 10 out. Likes it.
Oh. No.
Went down to one knee.
He did like that. That is like the end all be all when liking a shot. You get down on one knee. Quicker of the two.
0.6% is why we call it the impossible dream. And
see, now you know why I scratch my head up here, guys.
Yeah.
Andrew, you see it firsthand. He goes down to one knee, leaves it to a 10.
Yeah.
Kyle went from being up 12 to all even.
insane. Finally.
Stealth motor hammerhead. Hammerhead.
And on that 10 pin, just a little swipe with a clean wipe presented by Dude Wipes. 2.
He just switched to a hammerhead.
Hammerhead. Symmetrical.
Much better motion.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great ball change.
Well, Andrew would be much better to answer that question because he chases it week in and week out. He experiences that kind of carry down from the guys that he follows using urethane. So, Andrew, what would you, or how would you assess what's happening on the left lane?
Yeah, I agree with Rob. I think it was a little in. I do think the speed control is more of it, but I am surprised he's staying with a bowling ball that strong. It's 900 Global's newest asymmetrical ball. It's very strong, very smooth, but Kyle's gonna throw this one a little slower.
And wait a minute. No, it hits the gutter first. The winner of this will get the first point. And if it's 2-0, we're done. We're moving on like Simonson over Fiori. If there is a tie in one game apiece, we'll have a 2-frame roll-off.
Could have been way worse.
4.
Oh boy.
Don't chop it.
Okay, we're good.
All right, there you go.
You almost jinxed in there, bud.
We all got nervous. He said, "Oh boy," the second he threw it. So.
He likes that right lane.
Yeah, but it really looks like it's getting speed sensitive down lane to get it to come around the corner.
That took a long way to get there, but boy, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he wasn't going to leave that one in the end. He got that one all the way over there. He gave that one some extra mojo.
Yeah, he gave that one the business at the bottom of the swing there. And that one was going to pick up for sure. Think about that.
That was absolutely incredible to be a part of and watch.
And I was about to say Tim could lock him out. Now we can't. The cameras show.
Randy, what's more frustrating, wrapping 4 10 pins or stuffing an 8 in the 10?
What a jerk.
Wow. I did not prompt that, so you know right now.
Well, it depends on when you leave the 8 pin.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Sorry.
I don't know, Andrew, my career ended with me leaving a lot of flat 10s with 16 pounds.
What a way to remember it.
Finally gets a 10-pin taken out solidly by the 6. A tremendous finish for Tim Foy Jr. Kyle Troop's going to have to go to work in the 10th. So strike 9 spare for Kyle to take the first point. If he can't, then Tim Foy Jr. takes the first in the race for 2. Oh, that's got to go. It did.
I don't know if he knew that was going to get up the hill.
It took its time.
Yeah, like you said, it is definitely getting speed sensitive. That ball just a couple shots ago was running the 8 over.
Kyle Troop takes the first point in the race for 2 over Tim Foy Jr. And this is our frame of the game. Presented by Beatbox. Yo! And guess who's going to face off in the round 1 tomorrow? Svensson and Butturff, along with Vi and Ryan Barnes. In the meantime, Tim Foy Jr. gets a solid 4-pin to start game number 2. Tim lost the first game to Kyle Troop, and the winner of that Svensson-Butturff match again will meet the man in the middle sitting between Randy and I right here, number 2 seed Andrew Anderson. No matter what.
It's going to be different. Get to break down the lane for myself. It's going to be, hopefully, got some good stuff going. I got some good ideas for it.
Oh, my. Oh, he's getting it to come off the corner now.
Yeah, he's not
On
being
that
shy.
lane.
Yeah, he's not being shy at
Right?
the bottom.
He's not getting cheated on the left lane anymore. No thumbs needed on today's telecast, guys.
I have plenty of extra thumb tape with them if they need it.
They don't.
And Tim gets a break as the 4-pin takes down the 7. And what
It was a
happens
zoom
is
in, zoom out.
the players can see above them the score, and there's also some other screens up there which shows what you're looking at. They can see it too.
No trip for Tim. Is he not using the same ball now in both lanes? The hammerhead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just made that switch in the right lane.
Yeah, me too.
heard a groan. It might have been from him, but he's happy now.
Andrew, are you 100% confident in his ball reaction on the right lane?
I'm all about staying in the same ball until it stops striking. He's
Okay.
getting all the off hits, but it doesn't look convincing. But his results would say otherwise.
That's got a hook. No!
I think he thought the same thing, Randy.
Didn't you? I mean, look where that one came back from, Andrew.
That's
That way out there.
I think he listened to Rob's advice. We're going to throw it over there faster, and
Yeah.
we're going to get all of it.
And he has that I can't be beaten look about him, too. So let's see what Tim can do about it. That. Pretty shot for Tim Foy Jr. Gotta go. It does, and he gets a mixer.
It was kind of getting to the point where he kind of needs a strike here.
Oh, I think he knew that, too. I mean, as a bowler, you know, you feel it. And he knew he had to throw a couple really good ones there to stay in this match.
My goodness, that's 10 straight over 2 games.
Yeah, and Randy can attest, when you get a couple of those off hits, how much easier is it to step back up on that lane and throw one really, really pure?
I agree. Wait a minute.
My goodness!
Here it comes. No, he didn't pull the pick out.
Nope, he fake picked this.
He faked it.
So Tim has no choice but to present himself and see what happens. Still throwing it really well.
Yep, hanging in there.
That's a 3-bagger.
I mean, Dave, I think you made a great point. It's not like he's bowling bad.
He's not. Look at his max.
He's missed a pocket twice. Oh boy.
Wait a minute. There he gets one. Hey, definitely not out of a match.
That was in the whole way.
80% on this 3-6-10. Less than 80% on the 3-6-10.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
probably going to leave that spare ball there.
See how Kyle finishes.
And great champions, Hall of Fame caliber players have a very short memory. And they rebound like that.
Yeah. He's kicking himself right now about it, but he knows there's a lot of game left. He's going to have to focus up, get back to his process.
Point race. Now Tim Foy Jr. trying to tie this thing up and send it to a roll-off.
Gotta have it. Another ring 10.
Yeah. Now I would say if I'm Tim, this is a must strike situation.
Oh boy.
Oh no, the impossible dream.
Guys, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't think that was really going to be the miss he could have on that lane.
Well, it's as if that one mistake never happened for Kyle Troop. He left the door open just a little bit. Tim unfortunately had it slam on his foot. Here's Kyle Troop. 2 championship straps. And he's going to move closer to a 3rd with this victory.
Yeah,
One down. One down.
yeah,
One
and,
down.
you know, him getting into the 12th spot, you know, that's like a
Rob, do you
renewed
want to
hope.
say anything else?
Like, okay, we're in the tournament.
It's kind of finding money, like finding money in the street, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just getting in there. It doesn't really matter what place I come in at, but I'm in the playoffs, and that's what matters. And Troop's taking full advantage.
That's our moment of the match, brought to you by Pilgrim, and very gracious as well. So Tim Foy Jr.'s season, 3rd of the World Championship, 3rd of the PBA Players Championship. this year, 5th on the points list.
Everything but a win. He's had a great season.
Yeah, and that's what it takes, though, sometimes. You know, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's learning how to bowl out here to make the television shows, and he's going to learn how to win on television. And it's going to be a force.
7 top 10s this year for Tim Foy Jr. That's why he was able to get into that top 5 without claiming victory.
It's been a fun year.
Alice, we saw Anthony Simonson looking really sharp in defeating Ethan Fiori. He sets up a great match against E.J. Tackett, and then it was Kyle Troop defeating Tim Foy Jr. 2-0. And Kyle will take on Graham Fa next. For Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, Andrew Anderson, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Lamont. You have been watching the PBA on FS1. And now here he is coming in, newly minted major winner again in an all-lefty battle against Jacob Butturff. 2 unique styles, one-handed that is literally impossible to duplicate the way he throws the ball. And Jesper, just pure power, especially with that kind of ball in his hands. He is deadly. As if to prove a point.
Check out that rev rate.
Imagine. That's done by human hands. And Butters powers the ball right through the back wall, 8 and 9.
You got to love the Foot Locker jersey he's wearing today, huh? When he gets it rolling, he can strike with any of them out here.
See his arsenal. And he will kick away the 7 to open with a double against Jesper.
Urethane on both lanes for both players. Oh boy, hates it.
Which is no surprise, correct, that both are using urethane? At this point, anyway.
That's what they like to do. And I mean, we saw at the TSC, Jacob climbing the ladder, stayed in urethane the entire day.
So the seasons in 2025 for these 2 bowlers. You mentioned that Jacob did not get a title. If you look at the strike percentage, Jesper with the edge, strike after strike percentage virtually even, and clean frame percentage also favoring Jesper. He is the 7th seed, Jacob the 10th. All right, he's got 1 lane figured out early on.
That's more better.
Oh, lots of tripping going on there.
Yeah, that's how you take advantage of that nice hit on the right lane. You can see each and every time that Jacob gets back on television, the confidence that just continues to grow with him, right? There you go.
That guy.
Hey, Dave, you want to take a look at our oil pattern?
Only if it's powered by Kegel.
Tee me up, man. Let's go.
The Adam West pattern on the left and the Hardwick pattern on the right.
All right, named after the Hall of Famer, Billy Hardwick, 44 feet in length. You can see the players are going to play more towards the center part of the lane. The shorter pattern, they'll play out. Oh, no.
Okay, got a break. So get to 2 points. You're moving on into the next round. The winner of this match will meet Andrew Anderson in the round of 8. So you get a point if you win the first game. You win the second game, you earn a point. If we're tied 1-1, which did not happen last night, but if we're tied after 2 games, the winner of the roll-off will win the match. Oh, wow. 1%.
And hard to believe that the Big Four, or excuse me, the 710's been made more times on television than the Big Four.
Is it Walter Ray the only one that
Walter Ray, the only player ever.
I thought. And a very fortunate break to trip out the 7, leaving him just a single pin. So what's missing here, Randy?
That was another big miss in.
So the front 4 for Jacob Butturff. A tight match between Jesper Svensson and Jacob Butturff. You see Butturff found a patch of ice in the 5th and 6th frames.
Yeah, that looked good as soon as it left his shoelaces.
But he's in a good mindset.
Thank you, Rob.
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I hate to say this, but I think his mindset just took a hit.
I was thinking the same thing. Great mindset until you leave a pocket 7-10. And again, in my opinion, I think it's one of the worst breaks in the sport, if not the worst. And why do I say that? Because you hit the pocket, you throw a really good shot, hit the pocket, and you're left with an open frame.
That's more like it.
Looks like he moved in here on that right lane. Try to find a little bit more oil in the middle. Typically, that's what you do, folks. Even if you're bowling at home in league, your ball over hooks, chase it to the center part of the lane.
Got to come back.
That came back a long way. That came back from Flint. Again, the shorter pattern, so you're going to have more friction. The ball's going to curve a little bit more, and you can get away with that shot on that left lane. 93% of the time, look out.
And then there's the 6.8%. Yes, he can. Wow, that was power. And a sigh of disgust from Svensson.
Well, here's why.
Again, the red was the actual shot. The blue is what you want to do.
You know, when you're bowling on the same pattern, and even though the lanes, you're bowling on a pair of lanes, same pattern, they might play a little bit different, both lanes. Dual patterns, completely different ball game. One lane, you're kind of opening up your angles. The other lane, you're going much straighter through the front part of the lane. Maybe your speed has to change.
Oh. 6-pin for Butturff. Got it.
All right, he needs a double and 8 to claim game number 1. Yeah, if you give him a strike there, he's in the 220s, and game 1 is over.
And Butturff may get away with one of the big cardinal sins, is missing a single pin in a match. So another strike and 8 would shut out Jesper and give Jacob the first point in the race for 2. And he doesn't get the strike. Soft 7. And now Jesper has the opportunity to take it in the 10th.
Made that one.
That is the fact. Jesper, a double and 4 will get the job done.
Yeah, and Jesper struck his last 3 on this right lane.
Needed it, and he doesn't get it. So Jacob Butturff grabs the first of the 2 points available in the race for 2. Got away with missing a single. But you go back to that 7th frame when it was close, and Jesper Svensson never did quite get off the deck after that body blow from the 7-10.
You know, I've watched a lot of bowling over the years, and it still baffles me when I watch a guy like Jesper with a rev rate of over 560 leave a flat 7. It's kind of hard to really believe that you lost.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like
I
the
do.
pocket 7-10 around 2 strikes, you lose by 8. It's like, wow, did I really lose that game? But I think he just has to somehow focus and find some confidence, knowing that he's doing what he needs to do and just execute better.
I just wonder what is making him feel uncomfortable. That's fascinating to me. And Jacob Butturff chopping through there, leaving a 2-4-7.
Fortunate.
Oh, wow.
570 that time.
That was the rev rate of the pin that went around the 7, I think, was 570. Which leads me to a question for you, Pards. Let's have him shoot this. Two completely different styles, completely different games. What ways do they affect each other?
Well, if you go back to the Tournament of Champions, there was no effect whatsoever on Jesper because of his style and what he does. He was able to play a part of the lane that nobody saw. Jacob was never near that part of the lane. He played so far out because of his ball speed and how fast he can throw it and how straight he can go. He had that part of the lane to himself.
There we get a kick save and a beauty.
Now, with that being said, they're a little closer to one another today.
Okay. The oil pattern dictating that.
Correct.
Patterns.
And sure enough, because especially on the right lane, because of the surface that Jacob is using, it can certainly affect what Jesper's doing.
Still to come, Chris Vi and Ryan Barnes in a two-handed war.
At the Tournament of Champions, we watched Jacob progressively chase the pattern towards the center part of the lane. When it came to the title match, Jesper went the other direction.
Yeah, he had every reason to feel badly about that shot. Now he's got an extra back of that 247.
Ooh, the straight ball. Chop. Again. 247 converted. This time with the 8 standing.
There you go, another kick on the 7. The registration for the 2020.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Pocket 7-10 in game 1, now 6-8 in game 2.
Taking a run at it.
Got to fight through it.
Pretty good looking shot, just a tiny bit high to leave that, just to show you how much of a better year 2025 has been for Butturff. Last year he was 38th on the points list. This year 10th. Finishes one at Delaware and of course one at the TFC.
Oh, you can see in just a game and a half the left side has broken down. Or excuse me, the last 3 out of 4 shots. The strike coming on the right lane in the second.
That's more like it. Cutting right through the heart of the pocket. Nice little tapper on the 7. Still a close match. Only 3 pins separating the two.
Have a re-rack, please.
He'll take a re-rack. Yep.
Super did a good job with that lane.
And oh, whoa, Nelly, as the man used to say, solid 6. And we've only had one double. That was by Svensson in the 2nd and 3rd in this game.
All right, good shot. Come on.
Not one light shot.
And there you go. Powerful hit for Jacob.
All right, it's just a 3-pin game. Let's go down to the 4 once again. Rob Gottschall, what does Jesper have to do? What kind of adjustments is he going to make getting up here in the 7th and 8th frame?
Yeah, he's got a good reaction on the right lane. It's really the left lane. Both players are experiencing a little bit of early hook, so he's going to make a little move to the right and just give it a little more shape and see if he can get the ball to go through the pins.
All right, Rob, thank you.
All right. Excellent observation from Rob. Oh, yes.
Wait, what is it? Was that a break?
Yes, for him, a good one for him, too. You know what that also
wow.
was? He wiped those pins out.
So that would be a
Dude wipe. Clean wipe is what I would call that.
no fear, all clear for the Iceman. Left lane.
Well, that might not be so bad after all.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So that one to me looked like it had a little trust to it.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Pocket 6-8. It happened to Jesper. Now it's happened to Jacob. Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
Oh, yes.
Butters. Buttercut.
Fortunate that that was not worse.
And with another spare here, that max score dropping. Svensson in control.
Yeah, Jesper can put this thing away right now and get us into a roll-off. If that happens, we didn't have one last night. It would be our first of this edition of the PBA playoffs.
Jesper, the higher seed, would have choice of starting lane. He is our number 7 seed.
Oh, no, no, no. Oof.
He's had it all today. Pocket 7-10, 6-8, now the solid 9. All around strikes, by the way.
Man, that could have easily been a three-bagger. Now, he can still win the match. But now he just finally struck on that left lane that he's going to be on now. In the 8th frame, he threw a beautiful shot. So can he repeat 2 more times?
Of course.
He cannot.
Why wouldn't you?
And now look what happens to the max score.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've won a lot of games on tour in my career, and this game I shot 204, and I left the whole back row, and you give them a frame by frame, and that's kind of this game for Svensson in a nutshell. 7-pin in the first, 6-8 in the 4th, solid 9 in the 9th, and then the 10-pin in the 10th.
And is the difference in this match the fact that Butturff converted his 6-8?
Yeah.
And Jesper did not. That's another incredible, odd occurrence. Oh, my heavens. A count monster. 199. So Jesper unable to get above 200 in the first 2 games.
Well, it's actually still enough to force Butturff to double. 1 for 4 on this right lane here in game 2 for Butturff.
Got it. 1 to go. No.
We are going to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off.
1 pin difference. Jesper Svensson lives. Well, yeah, but the left lane hasn't exactly been his pal.
No, you're right, but he only has to throw 1 shot there.
Also true.
That's high. Flush. So that was in, but it was faster, and that ball held line, and that's 10 back for Butturff.
On we go to the 10th.
Whoa. You know, I kind of saw that coming. It's been a while since he's thrown a shot over there. Jesper finished over there. A couple more balls going down that lane, maybe causing the front to hook a little bit sooner. And I'm like, I wonder if Jacob's going to go high the next time he's on the left lane.
Well, there's your answer. Make this a pretty simple opportunity for him.
Never know. Come on.
Yeah, Svensson now, if Butturff strikes here, Svensson needs first strike. Oh, seen it all this match.
What else? Seriously, what else?
Well, first strike or spare strike.
Bam!
That any good?
Oof. Even he applauded. That's how good it was.
I'll tell you what, both players fought hard.
Okay, six-pin just crushed the 10 at the end there.
The six-pin didn't know what to do, was confused, got hit so hard.
That's how you do it, kids.
Yeah, great finish.
And that's how you advance into the round of 8 to take on Andrew Anderson next week. Jesper Svensson's going to take this roll-off in a just insanely tight couple of games with his fellow lefty.
Great match.
And Ryan Barnes is going to be the Rookie of the Year, in case you're wondering. Can't imagine too many votes going against him. And Chris Foy has just been so consistent. Tournament in, tournament out. 7 top 10s this year for Chris. Oh, okay. A little side tap on the 9. We're really getting sick of solid 8s and 9s.
Thank you, Chris. Little feign to start on that left lane for Chris Foy.
It did. Oh, gosh, that hits hard.
And that side of the lane not touched, right?
Yep.
Remember match 1, there's Dad, Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. Mom, Hall of Famer Linda Barnes back at home watching.
He was second at the PBA Players Championship in Jackson to Ethan Fiori. Third at the Players Championship the year before when he was still at Wichita.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good.
And he's using an Origin EX on the right lane. So urethane for both players to start on the left.
And a different ball for Chris and a much different result here. So that's why you're seeing in some cases the equipment different from lane to lane.
Right. Long pattern on the right. Billy Hardwick, 44 feet. Slide it.
Oh, thought it might just come off that wall and start a chain reaction, but an early open frame for Chris.
Short 37-foot bat pattern on the left lane.
Right down the line.
And kind of the same thing we saw last night, right, with Simonson? Where he started with urethane on the left.
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Two-lane thing.
So he's doing 19.4 with a 5.06 rev as opposed to what we saw the last match, which is maybe 18-something and 5.60, 5.70 in Jesper's case.
Well, and keep in mind that the faster you throw it, the straighter your angles are going to be, right? If you're going to carve the lane or you're going to open the lane up, you have to throw it slower. Ball has to have time to make its turn or to recover.
Pretty good. Go.
Oh, really good. The more online, the straighter you go, the more speed is required to keep the ball online.
Got it. Kind of an uncomfortable Tournament of Champions. He wasn't eligible to bowl in the TFC. Yeah. He doesn't have a regional title, so he couldn't go in that way. He does not have a PBA Tour title yet. So he kind of had to sit there and wonder where his place was going to be. He started that tournament in 6th and fell all the way to 11th, but is obviously still here, whereas that man is 6th.
Hates it. Bad shot.
Goodness.
That's the danger.
Yep. Oh no, he's going to have a third straight open frame.
To just try to compose himself and get lined up for game 2, because this is pretty much all but over, even though it's just the 5th frame.
Well, it wasn't a good one, but it was a strike.
Feeling like they can't miss very far to the outside of their target. So they try to guard against that, and typically what ends up happening is a grab and a pull in.
That looks better, and is. So Ryan Barnes taking full advantage of the struggling start for Chris Svensson.
So why don't we try to get comfortable for game 2?
And as we saw in the earlier match today, that took Jesper Svensson some time to get comfortable. Ultimately, he prevailed in a low-scoring slugfest with Jacob Butturff.
Really close. Came down to the 10th frame both games. Both games involved both players hitting the pocket, some carry issues.
And there's a perfect throw for Chris Svensson with the urethane in the 7th.
Pretty good numbers there, right?
You see Ryan 5th at Pete Weber. Man, that just makes your ears ring.
Hey, you want to talk to Chris Barnes, the Hall of Famer, father of Ryan?
Why don't you do that?
Let's give it a go. Hey, Chris, give us kind of an update what you think Ryan is doing to this point, and is the game plan kind of working out the way you guys envisioned it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really about keeping it simple, playing to his strengths, and he had 2 options on that right lane, and he chose the one that's probably the safer and where Chris is playing. So he didn't want to step out too far outside of that. Just get into an execution match versus trying to trick him with ball reaction.
Stand by, Chris. We got time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in the 10th frame, he's going to throw his other option over there. It could be that Origin EX. He has a couple of lower end options that he could throw out there, but I think we'll see that in the 10th frame just so.
The most predictable ball reaction is the urethane on the left lane as of right now.
Okay, nice little shuffle there. Take the 5-pin down.
Keep making good ones.
And that was not by much either. That was a screaming, ringing 10.
You're right. Beauty.
My goodness.
He's bowled some really good games on television, some really bad ones.
Yeah, yep. This was one of the good ones. But you're right. The numbers have not always been kind to him.
But he's learned from every one of those experiences.
Like I said, at this point, Randy, it doesn't seem to matter. Everything he's throwing is striking. But can he do it again? So Ryan Barnes with the advantage over Chris Svensson, 279. We mentioned Ryan is the only rookie to make the PBA playoffs. And it is also the first time we've not had Bill O'Neill.
Staying with the urethane, 279 opener, don't change a thing.
Oh, baby.
There's that kick save and a beauty on the 10.
Well, hook, you heard him say hook.
Yes.
It did, it struck.
Serious conversation, as you would guess, during the break.
By the way, you won't meet 2 nicer people than his parents.
Oh my gosh, you're not even joking. Yeah,
all right.
Craig and Angie Vi, we love you guys.
Yes, we do. Ball change for Chris Vi on the right, attention star S2.
And there. And you know who's in the building? Here's Craig. I have been told by Chris that if Craig is not at an event, he will watch streaming if it's on the Bowl TV, if Chris is on Bowl TV, and he will watch it while driving. They go, what?
That's
He goes,
dangerous.
no, he just listens to you guys. Like, okay, I hope that's the case.
Craig.
I see. Hook a lot, and now he has his first crisis of the match.
Straighter line on one lane, you're opening up the other lane. A little fast on that shot, resulting a little fast and a little wide of target, resulting in a 2-8-10.
That was pretty goofy. And he will not get the messenger to slide over. Covers it smoothly. And you know everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but his are the only ones that matter. And why not?
There's a shot before on that lane. He got it a little bit right, but it rolled up, grabbed a hold of the lane and rolled up nicely. This is a little bit more direct and a little more on line. Perfect. Splits the 8-9. Now, after 13 out of 14 strikes, next shot up after a 2-8-10 open
Is gorgeous.
Wow. I mean, that's just sexy.
Well, he has brought apparently sexy back to striking. That was.
And that's the overcompensation right there.
Not too many have won a major for their first career title. Currently, that's the only national title Chris has, but you know more are coming. Especially when you can throw it that nicely.
Nice.
And that is absolute perfection from Chris, who has bounced back beautifully from a difficult opening game to take a. So Ryan Barnes now on the comeback trail, or trying to get on the comeback trail after dominating the first game over Chris Vi. But we saw some signs in Chris that he was going to turn things around in game number 2, and he has done just that. So we could be looking at our second roll-off of the night. And that will not help.
Right.
All right, well done there. Can't give up anything.
It's a great spare.
He was pleased with his spare shooting. Bam.
Beauty. That lower pin, that ball should be smoother because it should start up a little bit sooner and be less angular down the lane.
Four-bagger for Chris Vi.
Good shot.
And he has been telling himself good shot several times in game number 2, and why not?
Is the orientation of the weight block in the middle of a round object. And based on how you position that weight block is going to dictate how the ball reacts.
All right.
Shot.
Quitter 10 there
Good
for
shot.
Chris.
Promise you the next time up on that lane, he's going to look at a different ball.
Felt a little awkward on the approach. Might have stuck just a touch, but he made it. Bottom line. Hello.
Beautiful. Going to go to a roll-off. Let me make sure that I'm lined up. However, it's not over.
Got to keep the heat on.
But I think in a way that kind of frees you up, right? It's like you're just, you're kind of admitting, all right, well, I'm not going to win this game. I just want to make sure that I'm ready for the roll-off. I want to make sure I got both lanes. My game plan's clear.
Go.
Oh, no, 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 no. Anything almost did happen there. Uh-oh. Now we're going to prepare for a roll-off.
Thank you, Dave.
Chris Vai is the higher seed, so he will decide how this roll-off will start.
All right.
I can't wait to see his 10th frame on the left lane.
Yeah, because this match is not officially finished. I mean, it's over as far as the score and who has won, but they still have to bowl out. So I want to see what both these guys do. And that time it nose dove. So it'll be interesting to see what Chris does on that lane when he gets to it and where he chooses to start the match, if he chooses to start the match.
Yeah, I mean, high and then light.
Well, he'll have, the good news for him is Ryan is going to bowl first to finish up his game. So if Chris wants to talk to his rep, Rob Gottschall, he can. And that's a tester.
Yep.
All right, so we already know that Chris is going to take the left lane to start. 9th and 10th frame roll off. Higher seed has chosen the order. Higher pinfall wins. The maximum score is 60.
So Barnes is going to have to finish on the left lane. He opened twice on that lane this last game.
Ryan in a potentially uncomfortable position to close out his portion of the roll-off. And
Yeah,
how
there it is.
about that?
So back aboard, maybe to the right, and then he jammed it, right? He kept it in front of him and just jammed it.
And the 10-pin did not get wiped.
Pretty good shot. He got in a little bit deeper and got a little softer with it, but the 10-pin doesn't cooperate. Wow. Went back to the urethane ball. That's some real stones to do that. I mean,
I think Dad
he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And he's got to put some kind of shade toward Chris.
If you're going to go down swinging, man.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, wow.
In just enough, picked up a little bit more oil. Result, 10-pin. All right, stage is set. Vi needs first hit. Spare strike. We'll go to a one-ball roll-off.
Oh, yes. What a sweet shot for Chris Vai.
Way to fight, dude.
Absolutely, Chris. Way to fight indeed.
This is your moment of the match, brought to you by Pilgrims. Chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down, just like Chris turned this match upside down. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. Yeah, he got blowed out in the first game, then returned the favor in the second one, and just needs 6 here to nail this down and a quarterfinal berth. That's nailed.
What a comeback. I mean, think about it, folks. This guy had 61 in the 5th frame in game 1.
He actually made a joke about throwing a strike and going, well, that'll get me to triple digits in the first game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we touched on it, we saw him starting to build himself up at the end of that first game. Started to throw it a little bit better, getting better results, and it pays off as he gets the win over Ryan Barnes. E.J. Tackett, Anthony Simonson, Graham Fa, Kyle Troop, and Andrew Anderson versus Jesper Svensson. Ought to be a spectacular series of quarterfinals leading to the semis, and of course the ultimate on May 24th live on Fox at 2:30 Eastern Time.